Howdy folks, Kanaju here. We did it. Thanks to your overwhelming support, and to a lesser extent, my raw talent, I have acquired my first sponsor ever. Today's video is proudly sponsored by Hello Games, the creators of No Man's Sky. Today, we're celebrating No Man's Sky's 6th birthday. Hello Games asked if I would share some of my personal experiences and favorite memories of the game over the years with all of you to celebrate the occasion. And since I was going to make this video anyways, figured might as well earn a little extra cash, pay for that swanky new No Man's Sky hoodie. Keep the lights on. Yes, you know, bills. So, even though it's No Man's Sky's birthday, they actually gave me a gift in the form of a special link, which I have put in the description below. And now, I share that gift with you. Clicking it will take you to one of my favorite websites of all time. NoManSky.com, of course. There you'll find more patch notes than you can shake a stick at, as well as plenty more information about the game's upcoming releases. Personally, I'd watch the video first before clicking it, but if you can't help yourself, and I understand it's very exciting, do come back now, you hear? Alright, let's get this celebration started. Here are my personal 15 favorite No Man's Sky memories of all time. Yeah, that probably sounds a bit hyperbolic, but it's true. I think this video is going to be a lot of fun because I have 6 years of beautiful memories to go through that Hello Games definitely didn't authorize. But you know, if my story about scheduling dental surgery on the day of the next update to get the day off of work doesn't sell 1 million copies, I don't know what will. I mean, other than the game's, impressive suite of sandbox and open world game mechanics, of course. Whoops, getting ahead of myself there. For now, let's just ignore the fact that it's available on PlayStation, PC, and Xbox systems with full crossplay support. Because right now, it's time to go back to the beginning, where it all started, before the 20 plus post-launch content updates that are free with every copy. Follow me! So, precious memory number 1, this is a weird list, is actually release day. So, imagine this. It's August 9th, 2016. I'm just getting out of work, and I forgot to pre-order the most anticipated game of the century. So, of course, I rushed to the mall to pick up 2 copies, one for me and one for my girlfriend. But incredibly, GameStop has actually sold out. So, I'm directed to another location that will hopefully have a copy at another mall. And after rushing there as safely as the speed limit would allow me, I secured my own copies of No Man's Sky. So of course, I then rushed home to my girlfriend's house where we have her PS4 set up downstairs and mine set up upstairs. We both install it and begin our adventures simultaneously. And it's magic. So this is my first screenshot ever. I actually started on a wonderfully alien desert planet, while she began on a rainbow paradise planet. So her world is covered in life, and mine's rich in resources like gold. At the time, it actually blew my mind that we had both installed the same game, and we both began in the same universe, but our adventures couldn't have been more different. So throughout that whole evening, we would run up and down the stairs, just looking at each other's discoveries, seeing every new planet and creature we discovered. It was a beautiful introduction to the game, and probably, admittedly, why I grew to love it so much. But let's move forward. Number 2, Waking Titan. So, fast forwarding a bit to the following year. At this point, I'm in love with No Man's Sky, and impatiently awaiting the first ever anniversary update. To keep folks like me engaged, Hello Games launched an alternate reality game, or ARG, titled Waking Titan. Now, I could do a whole series of videos on Waking Titan, but for this video, I really just wanted to highlight my favorite part of the whole experience. So after solving all kinds of puzzles, collaborating with my fellow citizen scientists around the world, and photographing an alarming quantity of bells from Las Vegas to San Antonio, I finally received one of my prized possessions to this day, a level 4 Atlas Pass. Now this legendary 4th level Atlas Pass is actually a physical item. 10,000 of them were produced and sent to those who were most active in the ARG. In other words, Hello Games found a great excuse to send unique mementos to 10,000 of their biggest fans. And since the front of each Atlas Pass bears the individual's designation and the back bears their unique identification number, they really were one of a kind. Trust me, I'm never parting with this thing. But, so for number 3, we're fast forwarding another year and another season of Waking Titan, and we're arriving at the 2nd anniversary update. So, funny story, my boss at the time had told me what a pain getting his wisdom teeth out was, and that whenever I got mine out, he would give me like 2 or 3 days off to recover, because he understood, how big of a deal it was. So after a year of hype building up to the next update, I knew what I had to do. So after narrowing down the release date to a couple of possible days, I scheduled my wisdom teeth removal surgery for July 24th, 2018, and thus secured the rest of the week off, more or less. So, I woke up the morning of the 24th, and all my dreams came true. I was able to get a good hour of play in before I had to go in for my surgery. They put me under anesthesia, and before I could count to 10, I awoke in a daze, with 3 wisdom teeth missing. I was wheelchaired out to my mom's waiting truck and driven home to claim my prize. Nearly a week off of work to play No Man's Sky next. Yeah, I was in pain. I couldn't speak. But my goodness, it was worth it. And before you tell me how dumb of a plan it was, to be honest, I would have been useless at work anyways. Trust me. Number 4, playing with my friend. So, if you're lucky enough to watch my Why I Don't Stream video, you'll know I have the best time when I'm playing No Man's Sky with friends. Seriously, I have more beautiful memories than I can count, exploring the universe and getting into trouble with my friends during the next era. The footage you're seeing now is just like a taste. Warping in my freighter, fighting hordes of sentinels, and exploring the depths of the oceans are all made even better when you have a buddy with you. In fact, on the day 1.75 released, the Abyss update, we spent like 5 or 6 hours straight after we got our submarines just like exploring undersea caves, the seabed, ancient, sunken ruins, we unlocked the bathysphere helmet. Oh my gosh, such beautiful memories. Like, believe me, I know multiplayer isn't for everyone, but if you can find a buddy or two that, love the game as much as you'll definitely get into more trouble than you ever thought possible. And if you're anything like me, you'll love every second of it. Number 5, No Man's Sky Billboard. Now, fast forward again to 2019, and the community's getting excited for the 3rd anniversary update. And in the midst of their hype, they decide they would like to do something nice to thank Hello Games for all the free content over the years. So, like any sensible fan base, they crowdsourced the funds to put up an actual billboard near the Hello Games office, thanking them for their amazing work. And to make this story even cooler, all of the excess money went to benefit the Sydney Children's Hospitals Foundation, buying games for kids in hospitals. It was incredible to see the No Man's Sky community pull together to both celebrate how far we had come together and to share their passion in such a positive way. Seriously, the No Man's Sky community is something else. Number 6, first time in VR. So, when Beyond did launch for the 3rd anniversary, it launched with No Man's Sky VR, the free VR support for the entire game. Now, me being me, I went out and bought a PSVR headset just to experience it for myself. Let me tell you, it was transformative. You may have noticed I left leaving my first planet off the list so far. That's not because it wasn't magical the first time, but because it was even more magical in VR. In VR, I was physically in my ship, escaping the atmosphere. I could lean over my shoulder and see the landscape shrinking behind me. I could feel the speed of my escape and the vastness of space before me. I had played No Man's Sky for years, but that day, for the first time, I lived it. Number 7, raising my own living ship. Now, I'm not going to spoil the quest that results in you obtaining a living ship, but I will say that the process of obtaining one is pretty unique. The pride I felt when I finally bonded with a living ship was matched only by the shame I felt when I abandoned it for a cooler looking one. Don't worry though, I left my first one with a very trustworthy looking Gek. A Wizard of King. I guess that part wasn't one of my favorite memories. Number 8. I built an arcade. It's no secret that No Man's Sky has some surprisingly flexible and very robust base building tools. And being world famous as I am for creating Roblox's first ever functioning arcade, I figured it'd be fun to create my own functional arcade in No Man's Sky. So, with Beyond's power and switch systems, I was able to assemble some basic circuits and digital displays in order to create my own simple, yet functional, arcade cabinets. Okay, I technically only finished the circuits on this one, for reasons, but I was really proud of the idle screen on this Atlas Rises cabinet. Maybe I'll go back and finish those one day. Number 9. Seeing a sandworm. You have no idea how giddy I was when I saw that sandworm leap overhead in the Origins update trailer. It was the fulfillment of a promise, a dream, a desire. In years prior, I'd spent dozens of hours searching for sandworms. When I finally came face to face with my first, it was everything I ever wanted. In fact, this feeling was only surpassed during the Emergence expedition, in which I saw 2 giant sandworms at once. Oh, hello games. You knew what I wanted. Number 10. Next generation. Believe it or not, I was actually lucky enough to secure a PS5 at launch. Granted, I spent several hours refreshing broken carts in order to generate that luck, but I did it. Combine that with literally the worst financial year I'd ever experienced, and money was tight to say the least. Thankfully, one aspect of that launch was completely free. You know where I'm going with this. No Man's Sky's next generation upgrade. Seeing the game rendered with additional details in 4K, running at 60 FPS, it's almost too transformative to describe. Actually, it was too transformative to describe. So, moving on. Number 11. My first expedition. Expeditions are time-limited exclusive quests that offer players unique rewards and experiences. And while my favorite expedition may be number 4, Emergence, the first one, Pioneers, holds a special place in my heart. You see, my dear friend, seen here with his legs broken, decided to return to the game for this expedition after a long hiatus. Neither of us knew what to expect, but we knew we wanted that golden vector. So we jumped in together. And let me tell you, that was fun. We were visiting rendezvous, exploring derelict freighters, and climbing/jumping off of mountains. We had a ball. And after completing our grand adventure, we actually staged this photo shoot celebrating our new rides. It was a really special moment, honestly. Number 12. Building up my settlement. So the 5th anniversary update in 2021, Frontiers, added long-awaited alien settlements to planet surfaces. It's no secret that I love this procedural architecture, but you probably didn't know how much I enjoyed simply building the stuff in the first place. Seeing the construction sites and scaffolding while they were being built was a pretty cool touch, and I would always show up just in time to see the final building pop up. So cool. In fact, I'm regularly tempted to abandon my settlement for a new one, just so that I can build it up again. I know that's probably just me, but I really did enjoy that. Number 13. Becoming Sentinel Dad. So, the Sentinel update allowed me to reprogram a friendly Sentinel drone, deck my exomech out like a Sentinel mech, and adopt a Sentinel quad as a companion. I went from Sentinel Bane to Sentinel Dad in like a week's time. We went on some pretty goofy adventures together, and unlike my real friends, I know they're always up for whatever dumb shenanigans I have in mind. Sentinel buddies, unite! Number 14. Creating Traveler's Deck playing cards. Okay, I know I always bring this up, but come on, this is a list of my favorite No Man's Sky memories. I'm not gonna not include it. For those who are unfamiliar, leading up to the 5th anniversary, I was so hyped that I designed a whole deck of No Man's Sky inspired playing cards. I then, again out of hype, produced a handful of prototypes and sent a couple to Hello Games as a sort of thank you gift for 5 years of free content. By the power of the community, my raw talent, and a beach's worth of luck, Hello Games actually adopted them as the official No Man's Sky playing cards. As far as I can tell, this is the only time that they've ever produced official merch designed by a fan. So, to this day, I can't believe it. And I had a rough idea of when the deck would be publicly announced, but I genuinely wasn't prepared for the sheer joy of seeing them actually announced by Sean Murray or available in the official Hello Games merch store. It was something else. My whole week was made. But again, sorry, and I apologize if I seem like I'm bragging. I am a little bit because I'm pretty proud of that. But let's move on to number 15. For this final memory, I could have gone with almost anything. Building my new freighter, befriending a time-looping space whale, or smuggling Gra across inter-system lines. But in reality, it's much simpler than that. You see, my favorite moment in No Man's Sky has occurred countless times over dozens of iterations of the game. It's that feeling you get from just looking around an alien landscape and realizing that no one else has set foot there before. How's that for cliche? But that's it for my 15 favorite No Man's Sky memories of all time. I know this video was more personal than usual, but I really enjoyed reminiscing, and I hope you did too. In fact, I'd like to reminisce with you. Let me know what your favorite No Man's Sky memory is in the comments below. And as big as this game is, I wouldn't be surprised if it's completely different than mine. And once again, I'd like to thank Hello Games for sponsoring this video, and for putting up with all my shenanigans. I secretly always wanted them as my first sponsor, so this is something like a dream come true. And if you're new to No Man's Sky, this is a friendly reminder that when you purchase the game, you're getting all 20 plus major content updates free of charge. No nickel and diming here. And that's on PlayStation, PC, and Xbox platforms. Crossplay's there too, so your buddies have no excuse not to join you. Between exploration, building, combat, crafting, and survival, there's pretty much something for everyone. How's that for a sales pitch? I hope you'll show them, and me, some love by clicking that special link below. And remember y'all, it's a special link. Special, just like you. Thank you for helping me to get this far, and I hope you'll stick around for what's next. And hey, if you're new around here, thanks for checking out the video. I publish detailed No Man's Sky content every week, so feel free to browse my channel and to subscribe if you enjoy what you see. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some bills to pay. Bye!
Units received.